What's up YouTube, it's Louis here. We're looking at Bitcoin. It's the daily time frame. What has happened over the last day basically. So of course last night unfortunately we did print a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. So this basically means that we're going to continue our downtrend. Supposedly this is what it means basically, but just because that's what it means doesn't mean that has to happen. Nothing is 100% in trading and we know this. So we should basically be putting lower lows than this, lower than 41.5k roughly, in and around there. But it doesn't have to happen. If we can close just a higher low, or even literally directly in line with that, then we would be good for continuation to the upside, because you wouldn't be printing lower lows even if it's directly in line with it. It just wouldn't be considered a lower low. Now you haven't tested it exactly, but you are feeling it. If I turn on the 12, yeah, you probably are rejecting it. So this for me is telling us, the chart is telling us we should be going lower. Now if we were to lose the 1.272, which I honestly at the moment don't think will happen, if you were to, we have these actually three targets below: the 1414, the 1618, and this green line over here, because it was a previous support exactly right there, and some nice resistance over here. Resistance, fake out, resistance, support, broke out, resistance. So support and resistance area 37.6k. Now I do, obviously can't quote me, not financial advisor, educational purposes only, but I do think that this is the bottom over here. If we were to roll over, I think this would be the worst case, but at the moment, obviously going off the EMAs, we should be going lower. But this does not have to happen. We've explained this on multiple time frames on other cryptos throughout the last few days, where they were rejecting the 20. They were meant to go lower, and then they just formed a double bottom, breaking the 20, heading to these two EMAs up here. So now, yeah, we've got some work to do. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. Of course, I think it's doing everything that we thought it would. I will get the fibs back up from yesterday's video. We did put it from this swing high over here to this swing low over here, and we gave you that 46k target if we were to break and close above the 618. We of course made the inverse head and shoulders patterns technical target, shoulder, head, shoulder. That broke out. That target was met up here at 44.3k. target met. Let's get rid of these lines now, and of course once the target's met, you're going to start like rolling over, basically rolling to the EMAs. We did want a bullish crossover here, we didn't get it. So this for me is telling me on the 4-hour time frame we are trying to continue down. Why? Let's explain it. First of all, we have these two moving averages, the 20 and the 55. The 20 is your continuation moving average. That's what I call it, by the way. So write that down in your notes. Continuation moving average. As long as you're below this, you're continuing down. As long as you're above it, you're continuing up. And you can see here, when you got above, you couldn't close the support. So this was a fake out, meaning that we should continue down. And this is what I'm showing you right now is valid for that daily time frame. We got rejected here by the 20. We should have gone lower than this low. We did. In fact, we did. Just we failed to close down there. We closed higher than the previous low, even though the bears pushed us down here. The bulls were like, no, this here is true support. We don't want to go below support. And that's why the bulls stepped in and closed price above 4,800, basically 40,800, sorry. So yeah, you should have gone close lower, because obviously getting rejected by the continuation moving average, but you failed to. Not enough momentum to the downside. There was, but the bulls completely reversed it. So that's why I think that the bottom is in, for that reason, because how violently the bulls came in basically, and ever since putting in higher highs and higher lows. So technically speaking, the same thing should happen here. You came to the 55. Now write this in your notes. This here is the double brick wall. I don't like breaking it on the first attempt, and you can see we did that. And the reason I say that I don't like it is because a lot of the time it can result in a fake out, which, as we can see now, is exactly what we're seeing right here. We didn't get the bullish cross. We're getting an EMA repel. This means that a slingshot action to the downside should happen, and that's why if we were to lose this low, we always have these other technical targets down here. But at the moment we're not seeing that, because we're still printing higher than these two lows over here. So as long as you're doing that, you're printing higher lows. I hope you're understanding it so far. So when you get a fake out, it basically means that we don't want to go up in this case, because you went above all the EMAs, came back below all of them, and you now confirm them as resistance, both of them, wicks at the top, means it's going to drop. We're at resistance. The EMAs act as support and resistance. We're at the resistance point of the 20 EMA. Back tested it with a shooting star. Very negative bearish pattern. So this means that we should see some further downside for Bitcoin, according to the EMAs, according to what we're seeing, what we're understanding in the chart. Now, I think I'm going to draw. Obviously, we had this larger falling wedge, but I'm going to just get rid of that line now. I want to draw a new smaller one, basically, going through here. Yeah, so obviously you can see we got rejected right there of this falling wedge. So if we were to break out, let's say we find support down here on these fib levels. Obviously, as long as we're above the golden pocket, you're going to that 1618. But let's just ignore that for now. Let's ignore the fibs for now. If we come down and we hold these lows down here, roughly 40,800, if we can hold that low, then chances are you should go and break this resistance point. Now, once you break out of this falling wedge, you have a target at the top of the falling wedge, roughly at 51,500, kind of coinciding with the 2414. But yeah, retracing back to key levels of resistance where we probably would get rejected before continuation. Now, the most key level for Bitcoin to get above, for me, is this golden pocket up here, this larger one, 45,600. If it can do that, then yeah, and confirm its support, something like this. Well, potentially at the moment we are rolling over. If we can come up now, get above this, confirm its support, I will be so confident in saying we're going to start going up. Because you're above all the EMAs, they would have formed the bullish cross by then. And of course you're above that 200 EMA, because this will start, the longer it takes to come up, the more this comes down basically. And you can see by the time, it could be flattening out like that. You come back for support and then continuation to the upside. So I am liking the structure of Bitcoin at the moment. Medium term, bearing in mind that it does follow what we're expecting. But yeah, as long as we get back above this white box, once we have confirmed that support, there should be no further downside unless this move to the upside is a fake out and you lose support again, hit its resistance, something like that. But yeah, focus on this here and now. Daily time frame was a bearish engulfing. Here we got an EMA repel, no bullish cross, 55 EMA fake out, 20 EMA resistance. So for me, it's telling us that it does want to come down. And we know the level that we must hold, 40,800 for continuation. As long as you're above the golden pocket, we are going to this. So I will be saying this. But if you were to lose the golden pocket for the short term, it invalidates this. But as long as you can hold above the 0 point, really. But for me, I want to hold these bodies lows. As long as you're above the body lows, chances are you could attempt to get back above the 0618. And when you are back above the 0618, we're going to that 1618. But for now, it'd be wrong for me to say that we're not in this target, because we are until we lose this box. But yes, in the short term, even in the mid term, we are going to this. In the very short, immediate short term, we're looking at these EMAs and how they didn't do a bullish cross and how they're now getting rejected as resistance. So we really need to watch out for that basically. I can put some fibs here in the short term, something like that. So you are holding that one. Obviously, look what it's saying. If we lose that one, we're going to the 1618. That is still higher than these lows. So even if you roll over some more, it's still good. I'm just going to go to that 1 hour time frame real quick, because this does to me look like a head and shoulders, but on the 4 hour I wasn't too sure because it's a bit slanted, yeah, downwards the shoulders. But on the 1 hour, oops, don't want to look at my Coinly. Not showing you my account. Yeah, so if you don't know how to do crypto tax, get Coinly. Not sponsored whatsoever. Koinly. You just literally link your account. Like I use crypto.com, so just using my crypto.com account, link it to that. So yeah, gonna go to the 1 hour time frame, not Coinly. We got the neckline, which is basically the one. So go back to the 4 hour, where these bodies, so body from here to the one. Once you lose that one at 42,400, 500, yeah, you would have a target at the 0382 over here. Would be still putting in a high low, and yeah, roughly a little overshoot of that 1618 if the target will be met. Now, it doesn't have to be met just because it's a target. You can bounce off any of these support points over here, any of these fib levels before meeting this. However, once you do lose this low, that is your target. So it'd be right to say this here is your target, 41k. But again, we know anything can get invalidated. Just like now, you've lost these EMAs. You should be going lower than this and this, technically. It doesn't have to happen. Perfect, guys. Please subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, and comment what you think is going to happen next. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and as always, peace.